Welcome to another Explainer. I'm so glad you're here today because what we're about to dive into has the power to completely shift how you approach your daily routines. So what if I told you that you could become 37 times better in just one single year and do it without changing your entire life overnight? Now, I know, that sounds like a totally impossible promise. But listen, there is absolutely no magic involved here. No luck. Achieving this kind of massive exponential growth is actually about undeniable, proven mathematics, not just some fleeting burst of motivation. Literally, by the end of this explainer, you're never going to look at your daily habits the same way again.
Okay, let's jump right in. Just imagine this scenario for a quick second. Getting 37 times better in just 1 year. How would your life transform if your skills, your health, or your knowledge grew exponentially like that? You see, the absolute biggest misconception we have is that to get exponential results, we've got to make massive, overwhelming, overnight changes. But as you'll see, the numbers tell a completely different story.
Right. So here is the main flaw in how almost all of us attempt to make changes. Most people want to change their life in this really big, sweeping way. You know the feeling, right? We wait around for that perfect moment to start. Maybe it's the perfect Monday, the first of the month, or, oh man, the ultimate trap, the New Year's resolution. We go all in. We completely overhaul our diets, our schedules, our workouts, and then what happens? By like January 15th, the gym is a ghost town, and we've already quit. We burn out in exactly 2 weeks flat. Then the inevitable hits us. We feel like absolute failures. But here's the thing. The failure isn't you. It's the strategy.
So what if the secret was actually never about those big, dramatic changes? What if the true secret to monumental change is an improvement so incredibly tiny you'd almost laugh at it? Seriously, just 1%. That's it. That is literally all it takes.
Let's do the math together because this is where the magic of positive compounding really happens. 37.78. Just imagine you improve a mere 1% every single day. Not 100%, not even 50%, just one tiny percent. Now, on day 1, the difference is completely invisible. On day 10, there's still nothing you can really see. And honestly, this is exactly why people quit, because 1% feels like absolutely nothing. But mathematically speaking, 1.01 to the power of 365 equals 37.78. What that means is if you improve just 1% daily for a year, you don't end up 37% better, you end up 37 times better than where you started. That is the sheer, undeniable power of compounding.
But we've got to look at the other side of the coin here, because here's a critical warning that nobody really talks about. The exact same math, it works in reverse. 0.03. If you get just 1% worse every day, well, 0.99 to the power of 365 equals 0.03. You literally shrink down to almost zero. Think about that for a second. Every single day you skip the gym, or maybe scroll on your phone for 3 hours, or tell yourself, I'll just start tomorrow, you aren't just staying the same. You're actually getting 1% worse.
So there's a really stark dichotomy to our choices. You have compounding up on one side, reaching almost 38 times better, and compounding down on the other side, shrinking you to near zero. The absolutely crucial takeaway here is that there is no neutral ground. None. You are never just standing still. Every single small daily choice means you're either compounding up or you're compounding down. That choice happens in the small, seemingly totally insignificant moments every single day.
Let's try to make this abstract math highly tangible. Here's what 1% looks like in actual, real life. If your daily habit is to read just 10 pages a day, your 1-year result is over 18 books read. If you just walk for 15 minutes a day, that compounds into more than 90 hours of exercise a year. That's huge. Learn just one new English word a day, and boom, you have 365 new words in your vocabulary. Save a tiny amount daily and watch it grow into serious wealth. Or let's say you practice a new skill for just 30 minutes a day. That's 180 hours a year, which is more than enough time to go from being a total beginner to genuinely good at something. Look, none of these daily habits feel impressive today, but stack them for 365 days, they transform your entire life. Small is not weak. Small is incredibly powerful, especially when it's consistent.
I do need to warn you about something though, because there is a very specific reason why like 90% of people give up. It's this psychological trap called the valley of disappointment. See, when you first start improving, the results simply don't show up immediately. You put in the hard work for weeks, you make your 1% improvements, and you see almost nothing. It feels entirely pointless, and man, it can be incredibly frustrating. I am pretty sure we've all been there.
To really understand why this happens, just picture an ice cube sitting on a table in a very, very cold room. You start putting in the effort, right? You raise the temperature from -5 degrees up to -4, then -3, -2, and -1. You've done all this work to warm the room up, but look at the ice cube, nothing happens. It is still completely frozen solid. To anyone watching, it literally looks like your effort is making zero difference.
But then, you finally hit 0 degrees, and suddenly, the ice cube starts to melt. It was the exact same 1 degree jump in temperature, from -1 to 0, but this time, you get a massive result. Why? Because all of that earlier, invisible effort was actually making that breakthrough possible in the first place. So here is the absolute truth you need to remember. Your early effort in the valley of disappointment is not being wasted. It's being systematically stored up for later.
Which brings us to this really wonderful thought. Success is delayed, not denied. Success works exactly like that melting ice cube. You just have to keep pushing through the valley. You've got to trust that the invisible work is accumulating behind the scenes. If you keep stacking those 1% improvements, the breakthrough will absolutely come, for sure. Your daily effort is never, ever wasted.
So let's look at how this builds into an actual practical strategy you can use. How do you apply this starting today? Well, here are 3 incredibly simple rules to execute this habit system. Step 1. Make it so small it's literally impossible to fail. Don't tell yourself, oh, I'll read 50 pages today. Tell yourself, I'll read 2 pages. Make it so incredibly easy that you win every single day. Step 2. Focus on systems, not goals. Don't obsess over that final result. Instead, you've got to fall in love with the daily habit itself. And step 3. Never miss twice. Missing 1 day? Hey, that's just being human. But missing 2 days? Well, that's the start of a brand new bad habit. If you slip up, just get back on track immediately the very next day. And that's it. That's the entire system to harness compounding growth.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on tonight before you go to sleep. What is your 1% today? You don't need to change everything all at once. Just pick one small thing you can improve every day starting right now. What are you going to choose to start compounding your way to a completely transformed year? Think about it and, more importantly, start doing it. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope it gave you some incredible value and clarity today, and I'll see you in the next one.